going on to you Leos? You Leos gave me the most views, so you Leos, excuse me, get the first video of the 12. You have to excuse me. Who's spraying some roach spray? So, like, you know how it messes up your voice and everything like that, right? If you spray a lot. But you have the Two of Gabriel, the Wheel of Fortune, basically, and then the Page of Gabriel. And yes, I have roaches. That's what happens when you live in the projects. Yes, I have roaches. Okay? And I'm not ashamed of that. It is what it is. That's what happens when you live in the projects. I live in New York City projects, so it is what it is. Anyway, so for you Leos, right? The Two of Gabriel. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So what I'm seeing here for you, I'm seeing how you Leos are very much so paying attention to how things have essentially turned around for you. A lot of you Leos see that you have attached, or you have gotten yourself attached to immature people over the years. And a lot of you Leos have corrected it, have corrected it, from letting go of said people in the first place, because you realize that ultimately you can't take them with you. They're not going to be able to keep up if they can't keep up. If they're immature, if they refuse to let certain aspects, namely their soul, mature. Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. What people are supposed to be talking about when they say, oh, I've matured, it's not necessarily their body that they're supposed to be talking about, even though that is doing that too. It's much more in a sense of like really their soul. So they're really supposed to have a soulful maturity where they learn certain things. They gain a certain amount of wisdom. And you Leos have, but they have not. There's a lot of crab energy in this, right? The crabs. Because you have the Wheel of Fortune, but you also have the Chariot. Both of those things are the crabs. But and so there's a sense of you understanding where it is that you Leos stand. You may be very mature amongst a lot of people who are immature, a lot of people who low-key envious of you knowing a lot of people, you knowing, you know what I mean? Your belonging market value, right? The reputation that you Leos have is a very good one that a lot of people like. And don't forget that people will dislike you for that. That's what happens with Young Dolph. Young Dolph was a Leo, right? We've seen what happened with Young Dolph, Nipsey Hussle, Leo, right? You doing so good. People gonna have imaginary beef with you. And see, this is the thing that you Leos have to get away from. And you are getting away from it because you cut all of them off. The King of Michael and the Wheel of Fortune right here, the Chariot, the King of Michael and the Chariot, which is also the crabs, represents how you just did yourself a favor. You Leos just made sure that you'll live longer. How? Because you got to cut off envious individuals. You got to let go of envious individuals. The people who, you know what I'm saying, that try to get you Leos to go on a wild goose chase, chasing up on after their validation. Because, look, the truth is that there's really two forms of respect. There's basic decency respect, and then there is extra respect that gets earned on top of basic decency because you're alive, where a person actually have a profound respect for you, where they they kind of like you in that regard, and they admire you in that regard, is what I'm trying to say. You know, and see, when a person doesn't have any kind of respect, I'm talking about on a human level, a level where they respect the fact that you are alive, right? That's a problem. That's a big problem. And the reason why that's a problem is because um, the reason why that's such a huge problem in the first place is because of the fact that they coming up with a story in their head, and it shouldn't exist. So the five of Ariel and the peace card right here speaks to how a lot of you done did a good job by separating yourselves from it, like the theme, because there's a sense of you you Leos just you Leos just did yourself a huge favor. You did. I've talked about this plenty of times before. A lot of y'all, a lot of y'all need to choose your friends wisely. Yeah, a lot of y'all need to choose the people who you say that you're gonna hang out with wisely. Stop hanging out with everybody. You know, just because you got to understand that Leo is the zodiac sign of celebrity. So when you have these celebrities and stuff like this, they are invoking in one aspect Leo energy, right? Being the center of set attention, right? So what comes with being the center of set attention? Leos, right? This is why Leos and Scorpios are not a very good mix. Why? Because Scorpio, and I'm not saying that Scorpios do this, but I'm again, I don't like it when people get so bent out of shape about me just talking about the science. They don't know how to they don't know how to take what's necessary and then leave behind what isn't. They get so emotional. And that's why I don't care about the emotionality of it. But because Scorpio represents jealousy, when the Scorpio is a lower Scorpio, they represent jealousy. And see, this is why Scorpios and Leos can't be in a relationship like that. Of course they can, but obviously it's going to take a whole lot of really getting to know each other and trust between each other, because Leo represents the kind of attention that people gain and popularity that invokes jealousy, right? That invokes envy. Have a lot of people asking themselves, what makes this person so likable, right? They want to be seen as that savior figure. And sometimes it's not necessarily even the Leos trying to be a savior figure. It's just that the Leos, because the Leos don't save people. Not necessarily, the Leos are not necessarily saving people. It's more so not from a grandiose perspective. The Leos are more saving people by kind of ailing or kind of healing just kind of dealing with the human condition a little bit, to kind of ease up the human condition just a little bit, right? Because the Leo understands that people got to learn to. That's what I'm trying to say. On a higher level, the Leo is the energy that people got to save themselves. This is why it is I was saying, don't be out here trying to save people. I'm not saying that you can't do some things, because that's what you're supposed to do, but I'm talking about saving to the point where people try their hardest. Let me give that some context, because when I say saving people, what that means, what saving people means, when I say don't be out here trying to save people, I'm talking about from the perspective of like when you have done some things for a person, and like a person is bent on doing the wrong things. They are focused on doing the wrong things, you got to leave them. I'm not saying for you not to help them out. That's what you're supposed to do. But I mean, when their concentration is on being as dysfunctional as possible, then you got to leave. So the reason why I'm saying all this, right, the 5 variable and the peace card represents you have to find internal peace. You have to figure out, like, see, the problem that you Leos are having is you have survivor's remorse of cutting those people off, right, of letting them go to a certain extent, especially if you know them and like family or romance. You having problems cutting them off because it's this sense of, okay, X, Y, Z or whatever. And the 10 of Michael represents how, but you have to learn to get over that, because how many times have people tried to do you Leos in and treat y'all like trash? Again, Young Dolph, Nipsey Hussle, both Leos, right? They both Leos. So look at how it is that the world does to a Leo, especially a Leo. If people out here think that a Leo is shining too much, you dig what I'm saying? Anything that happens with you, anything that you say, people are going to be extra sensitive. And the reason why people are going to be extra sensitive in the first place is because they're going to have a serious problem with you, because you shouldn't be doing your thing. You shouldn't be out here doing what it is that you're doing, and living your life and having so much fun and have the option to give back to people or whatnot. But they don't understand it. I got to give me a Kabbalah chart to show y'all what I'm talking about. I keep saying it, but like, and the thing is, the cold part about it is it's only around $10, but you know what it is? It's not regularly sold in like walk-in stores, so I have to more than likely order it online, and the taxes that are attached to that are, I ain't even gonna lie, they are preposterous. They are outrageous how expensive things become, even though they supposed to be so cheap, son. If you ask me, I'll just order some other stuff with it just to be able to justify the purchase. But $7 will turn into 15. Like, what? So and they're not supposed to be doing that. But the star card and the strength card, right, represent, the strength card is Leo, and then the star card is Aquarius. So it's that axis of dreams. No, more specifically, making the long-term dreams come true, establishing yourself, using intelligence and jovial behavior to create relationships, among other things. Too much to talk about in one video. And so what am I trying to say with all this? What I'm trying to say with all this is that you Leos have survivor's remorse, due to the fact that even though you know these people who giving you a difficult time, you shut them down. And shutting them down, right, you know that they are going to struggle without you, right? They're going to struggle. They're going to notice your presence is gone, because you Leos brought an element to the job, to a relationship, and they're going to fall from grace, so to speak. All the amazing things that you gave to them, right? A lot of times people don't understand how good you were doing, because they spend so much time trying to prove that they don't need, but they do. So, for instance, you'll see, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like, for instance, if you doing what it is that you doing, and then you stop hanging out with the person for whatever reason, and then they start doing worse. And I'm not talking about it from a perspective of you Leos giving them stuff to deliberately put them in a situation where they have to come back because you're doing this and they don't have any skills. No, I'm talking about you showing them love and you doing things, and then they wanted to play like, oh, they want to go out there into the streets. Every time that happens to me. And so this is about, again, I want to remind you Leos, this is about you and what you want. You don't need to have survivor's remorse because you did the right thing. You have to survive. So let's clarify the strength card. You may be tempted to go back and all of that. Let me show you. I'm shuffling up the cards. You may be tempted to go back and all of that. Don't. Empress, Lovers, Five of Wands, Five of Cups, and then you have the Eight of Swords to clarify the strength. Yeah, if they wanna be around you, they're gonna have to come to you, Leos, correctly. You know. Then you have the Five of Cups and the Eight of Swords. Five of Cups and the Eight of Swords here speaks to how you Leos very much so are you just need to quiet things down. Don't worry about the noise that you have internally of you should feel bad because you shouldn't, and move forward. That's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're actually at 18,200, pushing 18,300 now, thankfully. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell. Set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Peace. Appreciate you.